Hey folks, Landstryder here, and welcome back to another episode of Mystical Misadventures. I'm up here on the Astral Sorcery altar that I built on top of the little mountain here. The sun has just gone down, so this is a perfect time to get started on upgrading my altar. So that was one of the things I probably could have maybe, oh no, I didn't have the structure built, but in order to utilize this structure, we're going to need to upgrade our altar. So for that we need a couple marble pillars, and then the other thing we need is some chiseled marble, and of course a bucket of liquid starlight and rock crystal. Now what this will do is it'll actually upgrade the altar in place. All we need to do is hit it with the resonating wand. And you can see some things is happening. This might take a little bit of extra time. If we look inside here, you can see that the starlight bar is entirely full because we found that field of heavy starlight. Now that it's upgraded, yes, it's still full. Still we have maximum starlight in this level of altar, which is excellent news. Excellent news indeed. So now that we've done that, the next few things we need to take care of. We also have another area open in our thing here that's going to let us start building other cool stuff and actually some devices that are useful. Now I believe before we get into that though, there's one more thing we need to think about crafting from exploration, and that is going to be the looking glass. We might also want one of those grindstones eventually as well, or just to have one around to use to sharpen up our crystals. I hear some zombies nearby. Probably should just deal with this guy. There we go. But we can, let's see here, we could do the grindstone real quick. This thing right here, and that is a couple pieces of marble and a couple pieces of wood and a couple sticks. Of course I don't have any of that stuff, but we can easily just zip down to the base, grab that, grab out 2 pieces of oak wood, and then use our Eye of the Frugal to I'm not sure I'm saying that right. I'm sure you guys are going to correct me. Frugal? I don't know. It looks French. I'm guessing. Just totally guessing there. I think I can use any piece of marble there, and then that, yeah, there we go. A grind, that's going to make our grindstone. We'll just make that and have it nearby up here. And then of course the other thing I should have grabbed while I was down there was some glass, because we're going to need a bunch of glass to make some lenses, because we want to get a looking glass so we can start tracing out the constellations. And then glass lenses are going to be this is a recipe we're going to need to use at the beginning because we can't do the infusion yet. So that's going to be a bunch of glass panes. I don't know if I have it. I don't think I have any glass panes over here currently. I do not. But let's just go ahead and figure on making a stack's worth. That's actually going to end up only being 16, but a stack's worth of panes, and and we have 44 aquamarine right now, so we're good for the moment. We're eventually going to need to go find a bunch more of that. It's aquamarine in the middle, and then we do the glass panes around like that, and we should just be able to go. And I think it's going to do all of them at once. I think it's going to do all 16 of those all at once. There it goes. Yes, it does. Nice. So we got 16 of those, because we're going to need them for other things further along, and might as well have a few now. And I should have grabbed the piece of wood and the gold while I was down there, but I'm having too much fun zapping back and forth. And of course the sticks too, because it takes 4 sticks, a piece of wood, and then a piece of gold. Let's see, I think the gold was in the middle. Of course the 4 sticks were in those possession of the lens, and then was it an aquamarine there? No. That's where the wood goes. Okay. There we go. That's going to get us our looking glass. And this is going to allow us to peer into the sky and see if we can't find a constellation. And it looks like there's something right about there. And then, oh, we got to hold the shift down the whole time. And then we got to trace the constellation out. Now I don't remember exactly which one this one is, but I'm gonna go with something like this. I'm probably way off. In order to know what you're tracing or what you're supposed to trace, you can always come into here, click over to constellations, and that was the one that I was actually trying to do right there, Avitus. So see if I can find it again. There it is. And I hold shift and then we trace, like, was it down to I think it was over to there. That was down there. That's like that there. And then it came up this way and like this. Nope. Still not quite right. That should have been right. So I just didn't get close enough on my clicks is what it amounts to. Let's see if we can get it this time. And then that and that. There it goes. And now that we've traced it once, we'll be able to always see it in the night sky. Now, of course, just having the looking glass is not too bad, but it's another easier way to do it is using the telescope, which I believe is going to be listed in the attunement area over here. There it is, the telescope, which is to use the looking glass, and of course we're going to need to go get some more materials if we want to upgrade it. A bit more wood, a few more sticks. Maybe we should just grab a few planks and a stack of sticks or whatever. And a bunch of gold, because it seems like golds are used in a lot of these recipes, so we'll just grab out a stack of that too. Of course, that is getting our inventory quite jammed up. Now we can put this grindstone down someplace, and there's no reason to have it. I mean, we wouldn't have to have it right up at the location, but I think I am going to end up putting it up there. So let's head back up, and I do believe if I look at my clock in here, it's getting close to sunup. Yes, it is. But we can fix that. We just go up the regular path here to the top of to the surface up here. And click that. And there we go. Now it is the beginning of nighttime again. Perfect. Alright, well, instead of running all the way over there, we can just teleport back to the top of the mountain. And let's put our looking glass, or our telescope, together. Now, it should show this to me in NEI once I have it unlocked. It does. Okay. Now that's actually the looking glass. I want the telescope itself. Okay, so it's 2 more pieces of gold, wood, the looking glass that I just made, and these sticks. There we go. Sorry about that. Neighbor's mowing the grass, so I had to shut the window. Just in case I forget to edit it out, I give an explanation of what the blank spot's about. Okay, so let's throw down our grindstone someplace for temporary. We'll just pop it right there for the time being. Seems good enough. and there's our constellation starting to rise again, the one that we just traced. But now that we have our telescope, we can set that up right there. Seems like a good place for it. And when we open it up, I think, yeah, and we can use this to rotate the telescope around and find constellations. Now that's definitely a constellation there, I just don't know which one it is. So to get an idea of what it might be, we can click in here again and look at the constellations. And there are one more over this way. If I had to guess, is that Visio maybe? Let's look at it again. Sometimes getting to the telescope's interface to open can be a bit of a pain, I've found. It doesn't want to open every time. You ever have that issue? Doing Astral Sorcery? There it is. Finally opened. And that does look like it is this one right here. I'm gonna do just like that. Yep, that's the one. Alright, well now we got another constellation traced, and now it's over there. Visio. Awesome. Okay, let's see if we can get it open again. I guess you have to click it just in the right spot. Maybe. Yeah, it seems to be. Gotta kind of click it closer to the bottom. So we rotate it around, and you'll know when you're on a constellation because you'll see these slightly bigger stars that are blinking off and on. And again, I don't recognize exactly which one that is. Oh, I know which one that is. Okay, it's like that. I think it goes over here and then there. Nope. No, let's check the manual because I totally don't remember how that one goes. I was actually close. I was close. So we open back up. Let's do the endpoints first, like that. And then out to the middle here, and then there and there. That should be, yep, another constellation done. Now, I don't know that you can get everyone on every night, so you might take a few days. In fact, if we look around, rotate all the way around, it looks like those. Oh no, there's one more that we can get tonight. And yeah, I recognize this one. This is the one where they all just go to the center. Like so. There we go. One more done. Okay. And those are all the ones that are visible on this particular night. So I think that means there's, let's see, we got that one, we got that one, we got that one. So there's only one left, the Amora. So I will get that one later. I'm not going to worry too much about it at the moment, but I'm moving right along on our Astral Sorcery. So that pretty much takes care of everything that probably is in the yeah. The other thing we didn't do is cover the lenses here, these things right here, the spectral relays, but there's no reason for us to do that since we found a star field. We built our thing right in the star field. What you do is divert star power from a star field like this over to an altar that's not necessarily in a very good spot. We decided to just go ahead and build it in a very good spot since it wasn't too terribly far from the base, plus we also have an easy means of teleportation back and forth. So we are not worried about any of that. Yeah, so I think we're looking at maybe actually making some functioning stuff. If we go back and then go over to attunement. Of course, one of the things we're going to want to do is upgrade to a celestial altar, but that's going to require some star metal. So probably a good idea to go do that. although it looks like the sun's about to go down, we do have a whole bunch of... Ooh, and I gotta check something real quick. I don't know if we have the thing. I believe it might take us particularly this right here, the linking tool. We need to make one of those. So we're gonna have to make one of those real quick. In fact, so we just need a few logs and we can jump back up there and hopefully get it done before the sun comes up. 2 logs will do, and I think I had everything else. Linking tool. I think I have everything else in my inventory. Yes. So let's hurry up and try to get this done. Like that, and then that. That goes in the middle, and then 2 aquamarine. Alright. You can see we're starting to lose our starlight because the moon is about to set, the sun is about to come up, and we need to get this done before we start to burn. So I think the magic mods that are in here right now currently really complement the whole vampire thing because, well, one's blood magic, and you know, you just expect a vampire to be able to do blood magic, and then the other is the astral sorcery, which has to be done at night. So a vampire is always active at night anyway, so it seems to really fit. Something that's going to be coming to the pack soon is going to be some Thaumcraft, so anxious for that, but till then, we're going to stick with getting this Astral Sorcery. We're going to get through Astral Sorcery probably as much as possible. We should have it all the way done before the update, I imagine. We'll be through, have everything researched and unlocked for us, and have all of the fun toys that are available from Astral Sorcery. Alright, so the next thing is to take a stack of ore, iron ore, and our linking tool, and we need to go over to our temp location because if you remember, that's got that crystal right there. So what we can do, and I really should have brought something to cover in the area so that I could work under here without burning. What I'll do instead, though, is we'll just go right back, make it nighttime so that I don't have to worry about it, because I don't think I'm the only one on right now, which is fine, so I don't have to worry about messing anybody else up by making it nighttime all the time. Nighttime all the time, and then we can just head right back to our temp location, which is where that crystal's at. I can go ahead and pick that thing up too, by the way. There's no reason to leave that there. And they're a little expensive to make, but not that bad. And we can just fill it back in with a piece of marble, so we don't fall in a little hole every time we teleport in. But now, if I throw these iron ore down, I could put it directly right where the that crafting table was at, but what I want to do is go ahead and I gotta unlink all links. Unlinked all links. How do I link it? Just link. There we go. Does that give it another? Just right click it and then right click there. Yes, okay. And right click there. Right click there, right click there, there, and there. Okay, cool. So all that should be linked to that one crystal, and you can see that the first piece of star metal ore has already been created, and then I can just keep putting those back as they are created. That's going to give us some star metal ore. And that's going to let us progress. Alright. we can take back what we got, grind that up. Oops, I need to switch that over. There we go. Take this back, grind up what we got. That actually seems to be a pretty strong crystal, because it's changing that stuff over pretty fast. Now let's see if we can throw our star metal in here. Does not seem that that's actually a thing. Kind of bummed about that. Let's, can I put that back in there? No, of course I can. Of course I cannot. Clear inventory. As I apparently left some crystallized chorus fruit in there last time I was messing with this, and we can pour out some crystallized or some liquid chorus out of there. No? Where do I want to go? I don't know. I'm not going to worry too much about it. Let's just put that away, because that is some of my stuff that I've been using for integrated dynamics, and I could probably show you that, because I think I forgot to show you on the last episode. But I did add a new thing in the Botania area. So if we come in here and we look, you can see that I have a full drawer of living rock and living wood. And the way that I'm doing that is through a little bit of automation up top here. Let's get on through here. Right over here where I have a stone generator. So that lava there goes down on top of a piece of water, which generates stone, and then it gets pushed out by these pistons. And there's also a hovering hourglass from Botania with 2 pieces of sand in it, so that it ticks every 2 seconds, which gives that stone generator plenty of time to do its thing. And then I'm using the integrated dynamics block place block in the world right there, which is connected down here to a controller slave using an item interface. Let's see, we're exporting from the item interface to place our oak wood. So we got a row of oak wood, and then over here we're using a stone generator to create a row of stone. So we're not exporting the stone, we're just generating it in the world. And then at the other end here, I've got a block importer that's set to only import living rock, and this one is set to only input living wood, so that when the stone or the oak wood gets pushed into these, each one of them will break those blocks, or well, words. When the living wood gets pushed into these, it'll break the block as long as there's space in the inventory to put it. So otherwise, right, that's why it's not working right now, is because the drawers are both full, and I don't really want to upgrade those drawers, because there's not really a purpose to having any more than, I don't know, was that 10 stacks, 512, 8 stacks. 8 stacks of material in there. So yeah, and same with the living rock. It'll take in the living rock, and the pistons will push the stone up. When the stone or the wood hits the importer, it will not import those, it'll just stop them. Well, actually, that's not even what stops them. This is just the maximum length that a piston can push. But whenever they hit the importers, they won't get imported because it doesn't meet the filter. So hopefully that was clear. And if not, I'm sorry. But yeah, it basically means that I have an automatic way of keeping my living wood and living rock at full capacity in the drawers. Okay, back to using starlight metal to get us some ingots. Of course, chance of secondary output 85%. Well, yeah, we want secondary output. So we're going to go up there, and the sun is still down, so we're good there. And we're going to throw our star metal ore onto the grindstone, which then we just right click it, I believe. Just keep right clicking, hold down right click until it turns into dust. And I wonder if we can hold it down with the ore itself. Then we got to shift right click to remove the item. So we get a few bits of dust. Now, this was ultimately to do something. Let's see if we remember what we wanted to do all this for, which is to, yes, upgrade our celestial artillery again. Now this is also going to mean that we need to upgrade the structure that it's on. So we're going to have to upgrade this. So this is actually going to end up needing to come out, although we better wait until we're ready to do so, otherwise that won't craft. So we need to... Alright, let's check the recipe here. Not worry about the platform at the moment. We need an ingot and a bunch of other stuff. So let's head back down the base down here. Let's put away some of the stuff that we don't currently need and see if we can't find in here a crystal that is less worthy of being kept around, like this one right here. That's not very worthy of being kept around. Let's also try to like get rid of a little bit of this extra marble that we're not using. We need pillars, we'll need chiseled marble, 4 of those, and that's all we really need. So we need 4 chisel. We don't need extra stacks of this. We got like several stacks of that. We don't need extra stacks of that. We need 4 chiseled marble and 2 pillars. We don't need that. Okay, that'll clear up a lot of space in our inventory so that we can actually work with some things. And we can put away this piece of charcoal that I must... Oh yeah, I picked that up when I broke the piece of wood up there. Okay, we're good there. So let's look again at this recipe. The only other thing... Oh, we need the 2 dust and 1 ingot. So let's just come in here. We'll make 2 ingots. Oh, can't do that in there? Okay. Okay, does that mean we need a good old-fashioned furnace? Which I don't think I have a good old-fashioned furnace anywhere, because I thought I didn't need it. Well, technically I don't need that in there anymore, because I'm way beyond using that to teleport around or anything like that. So we'll just toss that in there for the moment. We'll get rid of that dropper. Yeah, that's fine. We can put that back in a second. My master corporeal spark. But if I just throw down a furnace, do I have a spare furnace? Apparently don't. I must have used them all in crafting processes. So we'll just make a new one. Regular old furnace. It might be someplace else. I don't know. Too bad I didn't have a corporeal network to to check. Okay, and then of course we're gonna need some charcoal to go in it. Oops, I forgot. If I have any more than 9, it'll automatically turn it into a block, and that's due to my manufacturing halo. So we don't need that much anyway. In fact, we're only going to be cooking 2 pieces, and I'm only going to be waiting for what? How do we turn it into an ingot? So is there oh, I have to cook the ore to get the ingot. Okay, well I've got 2 dust and I'm gonna have 1 ingot, I guess, or 4 dust, and I'm about to have 1 ingot. Interesting. I would have thought that you'd be able to cook the stardust into an ingot, but no, you cannot. You have to actually cook the ore itself. Straight down into an ingot. Alright, well there you go. That should be everything we needed for our crafting process. Double check, make sure we got everything. It looks like I ended up putting away all my aquamarine, so we'll grab out some of that again. And check the time. It is the middle of the day once again, so we're going to have to go up this way to turn it into nighttime first. And then we should be able to head on up to the mountain. Alright. Okay, let's see if I can remember kind of the pattern here. Something like that. I don't remember exactly where that goes, but I think it went in the middle. That goes there. I remember the stardust went up in those corners. And what are we... aquamarine. Like that? Yeah, look, that. There we go. I remembered it. Nice. So we take our resonating wand. Give it a little smack, and of course now we got the snow, but oh, that's get a nice pretty effect. This is probably going to take a little bit of extra time. Oh, this is not good. I don't want the snow on here. I wonder if that's gonna... interesting. I know how to fix that. We don't want the celebratory, we won't want the boar or the forest, we want the flash. Hopefully these will count as light sources in a manner of to keep the snow away. I hope, because torches usually do that. And it'll look kind of cool to have all these little glow effects up here for anybody that happens to wander by. That'll do. There we go, we've upgraded the altar. Now the next thing is to upgrade the structure. And that unlocks a new constellations. New area of crafting more stuff. So I think we're going to hold off on getting into that one until the next episode, but I do want to review just a few of more of the items under the attunement area. For one, we need to make the actual attunement altar, which is going to be turned into a big structure that we have to build someplace. It wouldn't necessarily have to be down here. I believe that, I don't know if the attunement altar, I think the attunement altar can be pretty much anywhere because it doesn't need starlight, so that could just be like someplace. Or maybe we could even go use somebody else's attunement altar depending on, I know that Loon has one over there, but it might not be set to the particular constellation. We might want it at the moment. So we'll make one probably eventually. Maybe on top of the castle down there, on top of that we currently have. Anyway, there was a couple other things I wanted to talk about in here. So we're going to get that attunement. I'll probably do that one off camera because that's just some spectral relays. I got to craft this thing, and then the attunement altar goes in this big multi-block structure. That's just a whole bunch of black. Just a whole bunch of the smoky quartz, or whatever, the dark quartz. What's it called? Sooty quartz. Sooty marble, actually. A whole bunch of the sooty marble, surrounded by a little bit of white, with a white border, basically. And then you arrange your things on there to attune it to different constellations. But yeah, I'll do that one. I'll go ahead and put that one together off camera. The other thing is the ritual pedestal, which I have no idea how to use, so I'm going to need to do a little bit of research, maybe set that one up and like learn what to do with it, and we'll review that again in the next episode. The thing that I can talk about and I do understand how to use is the celestial gateways. We have one just outside of our place, you might have noticed. That was actually put in by Loon for us. But now we have the ability to craft our own celestial gateways and set them up if we would like. Apparently they're good for going to and from the end, but you cannot use them to go to and from the nether. It will crash the server. It will probably crash your game. It definitely crashed the server when we had somebody try to set one up in the nether before. So yeah, I don't recommend trying to set one up in the nether, but they are supposed to be really good for going to and from the end. Now, the implosion wand, I'm not actually sure. So it is just the pearl, so the wand has only limited range. Okay. And pulls its user towards whatever it finds rather than... Okay, so impulsion, not implosion. Impulsion, as in it pulls you someplace. Kind of like the flight wand from Botania. So not that useful to us. We're not even going to bother making one of those. Now the other one that we do have, we actually have a formation wand because Loon sells those at spawn. And I bought one a while back because it's just a really awesome thing to have, and I'll show you how to use it here in just a second. This one right here, the conversion wand, is another one that's nice to have, but we don't need it because we have the Botania version. This is basically another version of the equal exchange wand. And then of course we're going to be eventually getting Thaumcraft, so we'll have the actual equal exchange wand too, so that'll be nice. We'll have a bunch of different options for exchanging blocks, because they do have slight differences in how they work, so there might be some circumstances where you might want to use one or the other. So let me pull that out real quick, and I will demonstrate the use of the, there it is, the formation wand. It's pretty cool. This one works a little bit different than your standard builder's wand. So let's, first of all, before I actually demonstrate, let's get rid of the snow. Whoops. Apparently we went to spawn. That's not where I really wanted to go. I'm going to go back to the basement down here, back to the home. Come on down to the Botania area and grab out a sunflower and feed it to our little dude here, and that will stop the snow. Okay, now that the snow is stopped, we're going to go back up to the surface, and the sun is about to come out, but I think I got just enough time to demonstrate this. So we're going to need a big area for attunement, and I don't know if it'll stay over here, but we're going to make this the area for temporary. I'm just going to throw some blocks down anyway. So we got, first of all, you got to set the formation wand to a particular block. So we shift right click on that block. Now it will attempt to place those blocks, and you can see that there's like a little hologram of blocks as I am, you know, facing that block, and it'll go pretty good distance. That's actually a lot more than I need, and you guys are totally in the, get out of here. Sun's nearly about to come up. But if we just right click, you can see that it places a whole bunch of those blocks for us. We come over this way, and then we can do this to give us our big surface. Now I ran out of blocks, but anyway, that's how it works. It can also, you can also do it, you know, up and down if you, but it places from the block that you're targeting all the way to where you're standing. That's basically how it works. But I gotta get back inside before I burn. And we need to wrap this episode up. So anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this episode as much as I've enjoyed making it for you. And until next time, I will catch you later. Bye!